Yo, what is up everybody? It's ChrisXtophers, and in today's video we have the long-awaited updated LeBron combo guide. In today's combo guide, I'm going to be going over every optimal combo, every unoptimal combo, advanced combos, beginner combos, anything combo related on LeBron that I have picked up in the 2 years of playing this character. I'm going to be letting you know. The reason I am making this right now today, I was going to push this off a little bit, but LeBron just received a heavy nerf with his down special and jab 2 no longer having a lot of hit stun. So a lot of LeBron routes are no longer optimal or don't work anymore, which is really but in today's video I'm going to be showing you all of the routes that I've found in my lab time. I've spent about 5, 6, 7, 8 hours in the lab already just trying to find some new routes. I've had help with other LeBrons as well, but let's go ahead and jump into the lab and I'm going to show you all of the optimal routes that still work for LeBron. Alright, so here we are in the lab, and first things first, if you do not know what was changed about LeBron, this move right here, the aerial down special, in the most recent patch was actually changed to become a lot slower, so certain routes like this no longer work anymore. The opponent will be able to dodge out. They made this move entirely way too slow. So LeBron lost a lot of routes like this one. This one technically still works, but it's just not optimal anymore because of how easy it is to fall out of it. And they also nerfed the hit stun that you have after jab 2. So if I set this robot to dodge after hit stun, he can dodge really quickly out of it. This used to put them in a lot more hit stuns so that you were able to do this, or you were even able to wait a little bit before you're down there, but as you can see, he kind of slips out of it sometimes. It still works just like that, but if you wait too long, they're able just to kind of slip right out of it, which is really unfortunate. But today I'm going to be showing you the best routes that I know. Alright, so first things first, I'm going to start with the early percent combos. Let's say your opponent is at 0%. What can I get at 0% with LeBron? Well, the main thing you want to keep in mind is a lot of your combos can start with basketball, kind of like that. You know, it can start with basketball into Sair, basketball into down air. You do things like this. All of that is true. You know, you can kind of experiment with the basketball. I'll kind of leave that for later in the video of what you can get off of actual basketball pass like that. But for now, what you want to be looking for at 0% is jab routes. And what can you get out of jab? You can get this still, which is really important. This is going to be your main combo starter for the most part. You can also get jab ball pass, just like this, which also loops into itself. But it has to be a downwards angled ball pass, so you can pass the ball up or down or just normally. It has to be a downwards ball pass for this, so jab down ball, and then you can get whatever you want after that. You can get down air. This route is really strong. It works on the entire cast. You can do something like that. It's about 34%. You didn't waste any meter for it. As you can see, my meter is perfectly fine. And this is the main route I use. If you come by my streams all the time and you see me grinding ranked, this is just a really consistent route. Even if they dodge out, kind of wait for them. See how strong this is? Kind of put them in a never-ending loop where the only way they can get out of it is if they DI or dodge upwards. It's the only real way they can get out of this loop. Now, outside of jab, dodge, down air, and jab ball pass, you can also get a lot of things out of jab down tilt like this. It has to be a reverse down tilt, so practice inputting that. Jab, reverse down tilt, jab, reverse down tilt. You gotta get the timing right or he'll slip out. But after the reverse down tilt, you can go for a couple things. You can go for ball pass, which we'll get into a little bit later in the advanced combos, because that shit can get kind of spicy. Or you can just get a dash into another jab. You seen that, how I dashed and got another jab out? So then you can do that into ball pass, you know, something simple like that. This route is really easy to get out in game. It works on every single character. I haven't really tried it on a lot of the smaller characters like Marvin, but I mean, this route for the most part will work. So kind of like that, you can get really crazy with it. I mean, you can Hop in the lab as well, find what you can find out of jab, reverse, down tilt. Like I said, you can dash into a jab. Also, you can go into a IAD nair. We'll get into that a bit later in the advance, but you can go into an IAD nair kind of like that. But at a higher percent, if you go for this, you're not going to be able to get the IAD neutral air because it's going to send them too high. So at a higher percent, what you can do is just go for a normal neutral air into an up air, obviously. And besides down tilt, what you can get out of jabs, we've already talked about jab, jab, up dodge, down air. We've also talked about reverse down tilt. We've talked about jab, ball pass, how you can loop this. Well, we can also do jab 1-2 into our neutral air. And if we want to spend a little bit of meter, watch my controller at the bottom left. We can up dodge into it and see how we kind of get lifted off the floor a little bit. Well, you can do some pretty crazy things with this like that. The up air after that is not guaranteed, but it is a dodge read. So if you have a feeling your opponent's going to dodge out towards the the right or the left, you can kind of read it. If I think he's going to go left, I up air to the left. If I think he's going to go right, you do it to the right, and it will kill extremely early. But this does cost meters, so be a little careful throwing this out. And on top of that, outside of all the routes we've already talked about, you can also get jab into normal there, kind of like that. And you can go for something like this into a ball pass. I haven't really labbed this route out too much because this is very inconsistent. Jab into jumping dare is something that only works on certain percents for me. Every time I try it in a real game against an opponent who is DIing or actually playing the game, this route becomes a little bit hard for me. You cannot go into down special anymore, so you can only really go into ball pass kind of like that. Maybe you can get something like this out. But I really haven't experimented too much, but I didn't want to leave this out of the guide. But you can do jab into down air, and I'm sure you can get neutral air into up air. I'm sure all of that's true as well. But for the most part, I would kind of stay away from jab down air unless you get this super consistent and you are on top of your game. Every time I've tried to pull this out against the top player, they are able to either DI out of it or slip right out, and it's not very consistent, but I didn't want to leave it out of the guide. So if you want to, you can lab this out, find what you can get out of jab into jumping down air, and I'm sure you can find some pretty crazy stuff. So remember how we were talking about jab, jab into down air? You can go into neutral air, kind of like that. Preferably you should be going into a reverse neutral air. If I stay the same way, things like that are going to happen. Now this bot is not set to do anything and it's still dropped. So for the most part, if you're fighting a real human, you're going to want to reverse this neutral air, make it a lot more consistent. They're going to fly out perfectly in front of you for the up air. So it's jab, jab, dodge up, reverse neutral air, up air. This is going to be a kill confirm around 50% on most of the cast. And if you really want to get crazy with this, I'm going to show you a route that only works in burnout off of this. It looks like this. So just like that. Now this route only works in burnout. If I was to set the bot to dodge after hit stun, they would be able to slip out right after the neutral air. Just like that. But if they're in burnout, they're not going to be able to slip out of that forward air. The forward air is always going to connect, and then you can go into neutral air, into up air. It's basically a 0 to death in burnout. So if I'm fighting this Batman and I notice he's at 10%, he already spent all of his meter, all I need is a jab and I can insta 0 to death him. So now that we talked about all of the early percent combos we can get out of jab, we talked about jab, jab, up dodge into down air. We talked about jab, reverse down tilt. We talked about jab, ball pass, and all the routes you can get out of that. Another great combo starter for me outside of just basketball, something like that, would be down air. Down air is a really phenomenal move for starting a combo into like maybe neutral air, something like that. You're gonna catch your opponent by surprise if you can catch him with that down air, especially in the meta we're in where everybody's fishing for jabs and kind of dodging away from you and fishing for a jab. If I know this Batman's gonna dodge away, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna jump and down air. Now what that gives me is I can get a ball pass like that. I can do some pretty crazy things, but most of the time you can really just go for a neutral air into an up air like that. You're not going to spend any meter for the neutral air into up air. All of this is true. Just like that, as you can see, all of that is true. It's a really good kill confirm from your down air. It's one of the main tools I use to start a combo outside of jab. I really just like going for down air. I think LeBron's down air is the most underrated part of his kit. It's a phenomenal combo starter, like I said. Alright, now moving forward, we're going to talk about some more advanced combos. Like I was showing you earlier, everything I've shown you so far is going to help you with these advanced combos. We're going to talk about jab, ball pass, and kind of looping that into this. You can kind of use those side by side. You can do something like this. And you can keep this going. I mean, you could turn around the dare kind of like this and turn it around and keep the combo going on stage, bring them back this way. And like I was saying earlier, they did nerf down special, so normally what you would see is a LeBron do something like this, and that does still work, as you can see, but it's not that consistent anymore. So what you're going to want to go for now is a ball pass. Way more consistent. You could do something like this into a normal ball pass, or you could do it into a no look pass, which is really good, just like that. If you're rocking the hot hands perk, every time you land a no-look pass, you're going to ignite your opponent. So this route is really optimal for damage. You can do something just like this. So just like that, all of that is true. I have the bot set to dodge after hit stun, and this is really hard for your opponent to DI out of. If they're a character kind of like Morty or Gizmo, they can DI up and away and kind of fall out of this sometimes. But for the most part, this works on the entire cast. It is technically a loop. You can do it about 2 times, so I wouldn't say it's like an infinite loop, kind of like Bugs Bunny Neutral Air was, but it's definitely something you can do repetitively. And if you don't want to do the no-look pass, just like I said, you can do the normal pass, and it has the same exact effect. But if you want to spice things up and be a little bit more challenging, you definitely can go for the no-look pass if you're rocking hot hands. And you can also start this with a jab ball pass, kind of like that. You can start it with a jab ball pass and go into it kind of like this, just like we were talking about earlier with the dodge up into neutral air. Sarah is true on most characters, kind of like, excuse me, Sarah is true on most characters. If you do a jump, you're gonna have to jump into the Sarah, so it's a dodge up and then you jump and then you dodge into another neutral air, just like that. And as you can see, the bot is set to dodge after his stun. All of that is true. Now that is a very tricky combo that is very DI dependent, but it is a true combo nevertheless. So I wanted to show you all that. So just like that, as you can see, the bot is set to dodge after hit stun. This is a true combo, but it is very DI dependent. And just like we were talking about earlier, you can just practice dodging up into this. Up air is not going to be true, but if you jump, Sarah is going to be true at very early percents. Just like that. You can jump into the Sarah, and then once you connect the Sarah, you can dodge into a neutral air. This is a very expensive combo, as you can see. It's basically going to take all of your meter, but the sauce factor is there. As you can see, I mean, I've labbed this a million times, and this is still a combo that I find very hard to get the up air to stay true. But regardless, it is pretty cool. But just like that, you can get it. The bot is set to dodge after hit stun. It is a combo that you can get, and if you lab this and get it super consistent, technically LeBron does have a 0 to death. Obviously the bot's set to 10, but basically a 0 to death on LeBron, all true combo. I'm sure they could get out of this if they maybe DI'd away or down during the up air, but still pretty cool. Alright, so now implementing some IADs into our game plan. Some of the best moves for LeBron's IAD would be a IAD up air or a IAD neutral air. I mean, these are just some of the best ways to kind of get the ball started. This is really good against Wonder Woman because she does have a whole entire kit revolved around armor. Nair does break armor. So some routes you can get out of this would be up tilt. And as you can tell, you can't really get much out of up tilt if you ever played LeBron. You pretty much know that. But what you can do is wait for the dodge and get something like that and basically almost explode them. And really, it's so reliable. I mean, look at this. You can just get up air afterwards and just explode their entire stock. Just like that. And this is a really good habit to get under while playing LeBron. Is waiting for that dodge. Waiting for dodge and catching it with neutral air into up air is by far the easiest way to find kills on LeBron. So if you do something like this, you wait for the dodge. He dodges this way, bam. You're gonna find really early kills on LeBron. Same thing goes for IAD down air. Can't really get much besides up tilt. It's pretty much the same thing as before. You kind of wait for that dodge. They dodge left, bam, got him. But for the most part, you can't really get much. You can get neutral attack. I'm pretty sure you can get jab. No, you might not be able to get jab on Batman. Maybe a smaller character who doesn't bounce as high. But you can't really get much out of IAD down air, so the main uses we're going to be using IAD for would be jab, reverse down tilt, just like this. Remember I said dodge, bam, just like that. Basically a true 0 to death if you read the dodge. I mean, it's basically just a setup for a 0 to death. It's not true at all, obviously, but if you can read that dodge properly and you set up something like this, you just kill them on 0, and it's so strong. And all of this comes from just reading dodges. It's a main way that I kind of take out top players. It doesn't matter how good you are or how bad you are, you have to dodge certain things. So if I set them up like this, even a top player, most of the time you're gonna be able to catch their dodge with a neutral air into up air. All right, and the last but most important thing that is gonna make you a great LeBron, and it's a amazing combo starter, is obviously just basketball. So there's many ways you can start a combo with basketball. My favorite one is down ball. At higher percents, you could do down ball into no ball neutral air. I don't know if I'll be able to get this first try, but oh, he might have to be higher. But if you catch somebody just standing there, I like to dash up like this, catch them with a neutral air, and you can go straight into the up air. I don't really know at what percent this is. This is something I kind of just do out of habit. Over time, I've never really labbed this, so I believe, yeah, kind of like that, you can find an easy kill. So down ball is an amazing combo starter. If you want to spend a little meter and dash up and catch him by surprise, you know, let's just say you're standing here, you're having a pretty slow neutral, bam, and then you get the up air after, and it's a true kill confirm at 95%. It's going to catch a lot of your opponents off guard. I mean, there's not a lot they can do to kind of anticipate this, and it's super easy. You can also go for something just like that. You can go for down air or up air. Preferably the easiest way to do it is just into no ball neutral air. You're never really going to drop this. But there's definitely more you can do out of down ball. You can do for something like that. You can go down air into neutral air as well. Into maybe a three-pointer. If you have the good read on them. I mean, there's so much you can do out of down ball. Another great kill confirm that you can do for LeBron with ball is jab, ball, pass, shoulder charge. Now, this is one of my favorite kill confirms. It's going to catch a lot of your opponents off guard. Even if they do DI out, most of the time you're still going to catch them if you spend a little bit of meter. You see how I'm spending meter? So if you spend a little bit of meter and dash forward, there's not really any character in the game that can DI out of this. It's going to catch a lot of people by surprise. They're not going to be ready to DI this. And you're going to explode some stocks really early with this one. And obviously, last but not least, for the ball combo starters. And like I said, these are my favorite combo starters in the game. And they're great kill confirms as well. At high percents, you can do something like I already said with the jab, ball, pass, shoulder charge. You can do the same thing with just this version of the ball. You can dash into a shoulder charge, and you're going to find a lot of routes out of this. You're even going to find a kill at super higher percents. But you can go into up air. You can find this to be true. I'm probably going to suck and not be able to get it, but I promise you can get this true. But regardless, just take my word for it. It's not really the most reliable thing out there. That's why I'm not just going to sit here and lab it for 5-10 minutes. But I promise you can get it true. I just don't know the percent or what characters it really works on or what DI it works on. But you can go for shoulder charge into the up air. Sometimes you'll be able to find a kill with this. You can also go into just a jumping down air. Do you see how I get the basketball back? If I do it perfectly, right? So you see how the ball bounces off of him, I grab it mid-air and I can get a down air. This is a really good way to start a combo. You can go into down air, into neutral air like earlier, or you can just go into up air depending on the percent, obviously. Just like that. You can find kills off of just normal basketball hit, just like that. Once again, it's honestly my favorite way to approach as Lebron is to kind of throw a basketball. Sometimes you'll throw out the shoulder charge, sometimes you'll catch the ball and go for a down air. What this does is it breaks armor as well. So if Wonder Woman is standing here with armor, this first initial hit of the basketball is going to break the armor, obviously, and then the second hit of my down air, which is true, is going to combo her, and then I can find a kill confirm. It's a great way to break armor. It's a great way to catch your opponent by surprise as well. And then obviously at low percents, you can grab the basketball and go for neutral air. You can go for up air. All of that's going to be true. There's so much I mean, the possibilities with this are endless. You don't even have to grab the basketball. You can completely miss the basketball too and just go for normal down air like that. Make sure you jump over the ball and don't grab it like I am. I'm just so used to grabbing the ball. But you can go for down air, up air with just no ball. You can go for neutral air, kind of like that. I don't know if you can get up air out of that. Or you can just grab the ball and neutral. I mean, the possibilities with this are endless. We're just throwing the ball and getting a combo after. You know, y'all can be some lab demons and find some stuff out. I'm sure the possibilities are absolutely wild. And that's really it for my updated guide on just strictly the combos that you should be looking for. If I missed anything, or if you are curious on some combos that may or may not work, drop down to the comments and let me know what I missed, or if you just have any questions for what I went over. On top of that, I am live every single day on YouTube and Twitch. So if you ever have a question about Lebron, you don't know what combos to go for, you don't know how to do a specific combo, make sure to swing by my stream and holler at me. I'm down to always stop what I'm doing and make sure we all become a better community and a better Lebron player base in general. But with all that said, thanks for stopping by, and that's going to be the end of the video. I'll see y'all next time. Peace.